So, good morning. Today we are going to start our next lecture. This lecture is dedicated to data types which we use in our programs in PLCs. So, we will talk about PLC data types. So, we have two groups of PLC data types according to this standard. So first group is elementary data types, and second group we call user-defined data types. So, let's speak about in more detail about data types. First of all, we will discuss about elementary data types. We have some data types, and we have about 10 data types, which we call elementary data types. And first, often used data type is integer data type, and this data type has some varieties, and we will discuss about also about varieties of this data type. In special records in our programs we use this record int. A range of this data type as we see from picture. This is the range, and this data type has a size of 2 bytes. So next variety of this data type is short int. As we see from this picture, the range of this data type is smaller, and the size of this data type is 1 byte. So next, if we need more sizable information, we can use double int. The range of this data type is more bigger, and size of this data type is 4 bytes. So next, if we need more longer information in our programs, we can use long int, and this data type has more range, and the size of this data type is 8 bytes. So also we can use unsigned short int. As we see from picture, the range and the size of this data type is 1 to 255, and size of this data type is 1 byte. So next, unsigned int. According to standard, we have the range and size of this data type. Next, unsigned double int, and next, unsigned long int. So, except integer data type, we have some integer data type as byte. Range of this data type is 8-bit and size 1 byte. Also, we have word data type. Range of this data type is 16-bit and size 2 bytes. Also, we have double word and long word. All of these data types we call as integer data types, and let's talk about next elementary data types. So if we need to program some Boolean information, we use data type that we call bool. Range and size of this data type As we see, we have two state for variable in this data type. Is it can be in two states, false or true, and the size of this information is 1 bit. In other words, we can say this data type that takes two values, false and true, in 1 bit. So next elementary data type is floating point number. Data type is real. The range of this data type as we see as in this picture, and the size of this data type is 32 bits. Also, we can use more longer floating point number data type is long real. It has more longer range, and size of this data type is 64 bits. So next elementary data type is data type which is connected with time, and we call it time. In this data type, we can program time intervals as days, hours, minutes, seconds, and milliseconds. An example in short records, we can see how can we program the time intervals. So next elementary data type is connected with time and date. We call date. This is the example. How can we use this data type? So also we have data type as time of day. This is the example of implementation of this data type, and also we have date and time data type. This is the implementation of this data type in short records. So next elementary data type is string. This data type we use when we need to program some characters, not numerical information. For example, we need to use some information in other characters. For example, this word in Russian controller. In brackets, we can see the length of this data type or this record. So next group of data type is user-defined data type. It's not elementary data type, and let's discuss about in more detail. So this structure allows the user to combine any of the existing data types into a package which can be reapplied multiple times across the program, be exported and imported into other structures. So if we need to create new data type, we need to use such record. First of all, we need to use special record word type. Then we need to declare the name of the new data type. After this, we need to close our type with the help of this record. So in this new data type, we need to create structure which is the combination of elementary data type. So for example, we need to create a new data type as mortar. In this data type, we need to create structure which contain time elementary data type and bool elementary data type with the names of start and loads. After that, we need to close the structure and close the type. This is the new user-defined data type which we call motor. So on this slide we can see the realization of elementary data types and user-defined data types in codices programming package for PLCs. In the first picture we can see the elementary data types with different data types, and on the second picture we can see how can we create new data type that we called motor. So this is the end of our lecture, and I hope it was useful. In more detail about elementary and user-defined data type, we will discuss in our tutorial lessons. So I want to say thank you and goodbye and good luck.